So who's the Pope of Buddhism? Compassion is the Pope. Not a person, but a principle. Which is great, which means we don't have those hierarchies which actually encourage like egos and pride and trying to get on in the world. But the weakness is though that it's very hard to find a common voice, or for a person to find out what actually is Buddhism teach, what's Buddhism's view on the war in Iraq or whatever, because we don't have the hierarchy or the organisation to give that unified voice. Which is a weakness, but it's also a strength, because how can you have a unified voice on so many things which are so complex in their nature? And sometimes a unified voice on one particular principle is just a gross generalization which misses so much. So sometimes it's wonderful having this, but the best part about it is that you're always taken down to sort of a lower level. And you can't become a big ego in this Buddhism. You can see, even though I'm a very senior monk now, you can't tell the difference between my robes and the robe of the monk sitting next to me. So that sometimes people don't know who you are. I've often told that story about that I also help working when I possibly can. And I remember once helping mixing concrete at a building site in Serpentine when we were doing some work. And after mixing the concrete, you get very, very dirty and stained by the concrete, and I was a right mess. And this Sri Lankan lady, it was a Sri Lankan, she came in a very expensive sari, she was obviously an upper class Sri Lankan. She came to visit the monastery, and I just happened to pass by. So she said, I've come to see the abbot, Ajahn Brahm, where is he? And thinking very quickly, I said, well, if you go up to the dining room there, he'll probably be there in about 10 or 15 minutes. Thank you very much. And sure enough, I very quickly went to my room, had a shower, changed my robes, and looked respectable for a change. And of course, when I went there, I talked to her, and she was very impressed. And at the end, before she left, she said, I'm really impressed, this is a really nice monastery. And that you set it up very, very well, and obviously you're a very, very good monk. But if I don't mind me saying, she said, I think you should talk to some of your monks, because I saw one who was very, very badly dressed. And that's not a very good reflection on Buddhism. And I said, okay, madam, I'll talk to him later. And I do talk to myself. But you use that, who is the real Ajahn Brahm? The slobby guy who's just building things and getting mixed in with other people. So just because you're the abbot doesn't mean you can't get your hands dirty. You can't sort of mess around with your other monks, or you mess around with other people.